Welcome to
BamBam-O-Rama. BamBam-O-Rama.
Welcome to another BamBam-O-Rama podcast. My name is Adrian Strada,
I'm Jackson Grist.
and today we've got our lovely guest, Mr. James Morgan.
Hello.
James, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
We're happy to have you. So those of you who have watched us before or live around the midland-Odessa area, y'all know James Morgan as the guitarist for Chrome Molly,
Probably so.
most likely.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been playing with Chrome Molly?
First show in November of 1997.
1997. Currently still playing.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
I'm not sure how many years that is. It's gone too far where I've already forgot, really.
97 to 2023. Yeah, that's
It's a good amount of time.
a good amount of time.
Yeah.
What made you start playing guitar in the first place?
My grandmother actually gave me a mandolin
Oh,
when I was a
Ooh.
kid.
I
About
love mandolin.
6 or 7 years old, and I started picking around on that. I guess I finally wanted to play guitar. I had to work in a garden an entire summer to make enough money with my grandfather where he'd buy me my first guitar. That's how it kind of started.
Obviously, a mandolin's very different from a guitar.
I tried to pick one up about 5-6 years ago, and I can't remember how to play it.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
No
It's just
clue.
an inverted bass, right?
Yeah.
It's like a violin
Yeah.
with
It's four
double
strings. Yeah, it's 4 strings.
GDAE.
Yeah, and I picked one up being cocky one day, figuring I could do it, and I absolutely forgot how to. So
It's a different beast. They're
Yeah.
fun to play with, though. I
Yeah.
really enjoy playing it.
Absolutely love getting my hands on one. I can tinker around enough.
absolutely. Yeah.
So after you picked up the guitar, you just quit with the mandolin.
Yeah, I
Guitar was your baby now.
that was what I did.
What was the first guitar you had?
That was a Brian guitar. The brand name was Brian. My second guitar was I don't remember if it was called a Series 10 or a Series 1. It was some off. They were both off brands, and I finally got my first Ibanez, I guess, when I was about an early teenager,
So you predominantly played Ibanez for a good while?
probably.
When I was a teenager getting into guitar and learning about guitar, the Gibson Les Paul was the thing that I wanted to have, that I lusted over constantly. What was the guitar you dreamed about having?
Oh, it's always been the same. That's what every guitar player's dream guitar is. So
Les
Yeah,
Paul?
Les
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah. What are you playing right now?
I play a single cut. It looks like a Les Paul. It's not. I play a single cut Kiesel.
Well, that is one of the things. Kiesel, I don't know too much about the Kiesel brand, but I do know.
I still have a few Les Pauls.
Yeah.
I mean, I get them out every now and then and play them, but
There you go.
they're just heavy and they're just,
They are heavy. That's one of the things. I mean, as much as I lusted over that Les Paul, like I said, I have probably about 10 guitars on my wall and in my rack, and that Les Paul gets used a lot less than 15-year-old Jackson would appreciate hearing about.
yeah, I get it.
I mean, that's the thing, though, is like sometimes you glamorize some things, you get attracted to it, but then when it's in your hands, you're like, this is great. But now that I've got my own style, I get
Exactly.
attracted to something else.
Exactly.
And so, like, yeah, you play a single cut, it looks like a Les Paul, but there's something else about it that's making you attracted.
It's just I've said 1,000 times over the years. I mean, we've always been a cover band, especially, well, we weren't always a cover band, but we have been for the last 20 plus years at least. But, I have to keep a certain guitar tone versus what I'm playing in cover song. Versus I was go off and play an original band, it would be a totally different spectrum.
I mean, that makes sense, though. And we were actually talking about this, to your credit, that you're pretty particular about your guitar cabs and stuff like that.
Oh, very
Yes.
very much.
Not gear oriented, sound oriented, dictated by the gear. And that's one thing that I think is a big difference, because there are gearheads who would just go after names of things, but you particularly look at sound quality.
Oh, I do.
Like you're actually looking at, I mean, do you look at like sound spectrums and stuff when you're doing that? Is it that in depth, or you just got a particular knowledge base that you're like, yeah, I generally know this frequency is going to do this
Probably that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going
Oh.
after just certain.
intuitively?
Yeah, probably so.
That's fair, and that's fine. That's really nice that you were able to do that. I mean, it's a testament to starting from 1997 till now. You're working at your craft. What do you have currently going on? I know Chrome Molly has been on some Facebook. Is that going full force right now?
Full force? Yeah, well, I'd say full. I mean, of course we're older, and we all got our own things going on, but we still play at least once a month.
Did I see Romy on stage, the original guy?
Yeah, he's back with us.
That's really cool to see him on there.
Yeah.
Because it's like full circle stuff.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, we came together, I guess, back in July last year. Well, we'd been talking a lot through COVID, and timing lined out, and here we started going. It's been a lot of fun.
You've got some investment going on in Pat's place here.
I mean, Bruce Riley bought this bar. All I do is manage it for him. He's a great guy. I mean, I knew the owners previously, and they just, they moved off and they put it up for sale. And I asked him one day, I was like, why don't you go over and check this one out? Look at it. I guess him and his wife came over and looked at it with the realtor, and they liked it and they bought it. Here we are today. So, I'm just managing it for him. So
There
it
you
gives
go.
me something, I enjoy
It's
it.
a cool little setup. I really like this outside stage and this patio.
Yeah, we're trying to build stuff on where we can have like bigger style concerts and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the bigger reasons that we definitely wanted to come catch up with you, because obviously you and I have known each other, on the stage and off. But it's really cool that you're building in fostering the music thing. What are your thoughts on like the general West Texas mentality of music?
Some weeks I think it's going strong and it's okay, and other times I think we're dying breed. So,
I understand that. So to get more into that, if we can, what moments and what do you see when it makes you think we have a good scene here in West Texas?
it's hard to answer that question. I mean, you're talking like, I mean, the crowds are changing so much.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's mostly the crowds.
I mean, and you're getting, it's like years ago, probably when, say, been 2010, 2012, the 80s music was the big thing.
Right.
Okay. And the 70s music everybody was tired of. Now it's more of a 90s scene,
People want more 90s music.
and that's that type of,
So it's like a rolling decade or two
it
behind.
It
with
really is.
things,
It's
yeah.
starting to kind of roll, and we've all kind of discussed that ourselves, because I mean, especially last year, we've really gotten back into a lot of 80s music. And it's worked really well for us, don't get me wrong. But it's, everybody's going to probably have to evolve, or we're going to have to evolve, into something else, or not to say something else, but just to a little later style,
I get that.
Yeah.
I know right now, not to, plug myself, but I am teaching guitar lessons. And both of my students that I have right now, I was like, what kind of music you into? Both of them said Nirvana. So there's some 90s music right there that if you don't like Nirvana, I understand.
Well, I mean, I guess the bigger part of it is, obviously if you had this answer, things would be different, right? But what is one thing that you think might help reinvigorate the local community to actually come see local musicians perform?
I would like to see younger people starting bands
Younger people.
What's that
starting.
age group that you're talking about?
in their early 20s. I mean, you don't see it. It's always, it's us older guys that are still playing.
I get that.
If I'm not seeing it, then maybe it's on me, but I'm not seeing it. If that makes any sense. But I don't know. I would like to see, because sometimes you go to these other clubs and these people would just soon see a DJ than watch a live band.
That is the big thing right now. I think you're right with the younger, I guess, 20s crowd. It is a lot of DJs.
But I think it's just in this area, because I get on YouTube and I mean, do y'all not notice how many women guitar players are floating all over YouTube right now?
It's amazing. It's wonderful.
How many young women drummers, and they're good, and I mean, some of the guitar players I've been playing my whole life, I wouldn't even try to play with them, and they're just very talented.
Very talented.
So I mean, I don't know if it's just here, but I mean, I do think we have a strong music scene. I mean, I think it's kind of turned into a Texas country scene for a long time.
It has, yes.
But in a lot of ways, I feel like when the rock bands come out, people are starting to enjoy it more because it's like something different to them. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I've always made it a point to stick to my guns on it, because, I can't tell you how many arguments I've probably been in over the last 15 years with band members about, well, we got to turn it into Texas country. No, we don't. Let's be the only rock band. Let's be the different one.
I think so. I think there's definitely that. I remember there was a country bar in Midland I used to hang out at all the time, and all those bands, they prided themselves on bringing bands in from around Texas. I'll tell you right now, every single one of those bands played the exact same set of Texas country music, and getting to come to see y'all and see other rock bands over at the bar or Riley's or wherever was kind of a breath of fresh air in those moments.
No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of always been the goal, I guess, is I'm just trying to stick to I didn't want to follow what was going. I wanted to just stick my guns on it. And believe me, we had some slow down. We had some slow years, but we've also had some really good ones.
So I mean, over the years, having its ups and downs, not trying to get you to try to recap those highlights, all the ups only. I'm gonna try to come back circle to this. When it was good, aside from the thought that you were playing more popular for that time music, what else do you think it was going on at that time that was helping?
I think it was the population.
Fair.
I don't think it really the bars really, I mean, we always had our same spots, places, that we were going to play and we knew was going to be good that day, or we were going somewhere different that we weren't so sure of, but knowing it would work out. That would all happen. That's a tough question, really.
I know, but just want to get some little reflection out of it. Mostly because in the end, what we're trying to do is promote, local music in general. So any success that we can squeeze out of we're gonna try to.
Well, I mean, there's some good bands out there that are starting. You know, I'm starting to see more rock bands come about in Midland-Odessa.
Anybody that you have in mind in particular that?
I mean, I think the Bark of Spiders. You know, they're a real good strong pull. You got bands, Contraband. Those guys are doing very, very well. There's a band called Side Piece out of Midland. Those guys are doing very, very well. I mean,
I know
there's
Side
several.
Piece.
There's several of them. I mean, they're starting to come about. You know, I keep getting a lot of word. I haven't seen them. They've tried to book here, and I haven't been able to book them because for scheduling conflicts. But Pup Handle Vandals or something like that.
I don't think I've heard of them. I
Yeah.
like that name though. Yeah,
That's what they're called. I'm pretty sure. But they're getting a lot of traction.
that gives me punk rock vibes. I don't know if that's what that.
But I mean, it hasn't been horrible. But I mean, it's just I think it's getting better than it was in the years past for sure.
I agree with that. Did you have more on? That
Well,
topic?
just
Sorry.
curiosity always, especially okay. So you have a big stage, and I always wonder. There's not a lot of pageantry in the local music here. Whether it's from the bands themselves or the venues. Is there anything that you think that you've ever thought of that's not being done that you've ever wanted to try, that you might even end up trying here? And I'll give you an example to kind of like stoke the fire, if you will. But just like a projector, some places have it's a generic mediocre projector, but sometimes it's up there just to add a little bit of visual flow. Has there ever been anything like that you've ever considered?
Oh, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just
I'm not sure how how I would go about it, but yeah, it's definitely been something that's come across my mind.
I think it'd be cool to have like one of those fire flamethrowers on the end of your guitar or something like
Right
that.
there you go. Like yeah, I mean to almost get into it, like Kiss, their pageantry I've always loved. Whether you're a fan of their music or not, I think everyone can appreciate their pageantry. I mean, when Spaceman would hit that button on the bottom of his guitar and those rockets would fly out of the headstock, I always loved that.
Yeah. I mean, that's Kiss though. I mean, they'll tell you themselves they were never never talented musicians. They were showmen. That's what the whole thing was based off of, and it's made them a ton of money.
Yeah, they've got their hands on almost anything. Coffins, guitars.
Yeah, it's all about that frontman mentality and the show. That's what it's about. So it's not one of them. People sit back and look how great they just played that piece of that song. It's not Kiss.
I get that. Is there any pageantry you would add to your performance? Would you have rockets fly out of your guitar if you could?
Not in this day and age. No.
Not in this day? No.
Yeah, I've gotten too old for that. Probably.
I get that.
There's no
I get that.
platform boots with some goldfish in there for
no,
it?
I'm out on that deal.
What if I were to able to get some, and would you
No.
wear them for me
I
once?
don't know, probably not.
Well,
That's
that's
gonna be a
unfortunate.
hard no on that one.
I just feel like you're being negative for no reason.
The awkward thing about that is I feel like that would go on the OnlyFans website.
Probably. Knowing Adrian,
Yeah, I've got an.
So I do want to ask, Adrian pointed at the stage that we have behind me and to our west. What's a band you would like to see on this stage? Big, small, Texas-wide, worldwide, however, a dream booking, if you will.
Man, that's a tough. Y'all could have gave me a little time to think about that one. I don't know. I would like to do some bigger in this area. Okay, I've gotten real big into the tribute bands lately. I like those, and I wouldn't mind trying some Kevin Fowler one. Some big Texas country names, but I just got to get.
So you'd still want to keep it local. You wouldn't go bigger than Texas.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I mean, it just depends on what you're capable of handling.
That's true. That's true. Because if you put,
And there's so many big, large venues going up all over the place. I mean, it makes it very hard for us, But I mean, that's what I would try to do.
Just try to think of how to make things like that happen.
Would you ever consider putting this is Pat's place and you run it, correct?
I manage it. Yes.
You manage it. Would y'all ever consider doing like a Pat's Place music festival that would be a lineup of local musicians, maybe a mix of original music and a mix of cover bands as well? Would that be something?
I would be prone to doing it as a mix of original bands.
Original bands, you would do that?
Cover bands and original bands just don't need to intermingle, in my
Right.
opinion.
I think there needs to be
it's-
some respect between the two because there is some weird balance, or not balance, but
It might be okay. Let's say you're gonna have your original bands outside all day long, and they're quitting at 8 o'clock. Throw a hot cover band inside that plays the bar for the evening to entertain everybody when that was over, kind of thing.
I get that. I think that works.
That might do something like that. But as far as having, they're two different worlds.
It is a different thing because, like you'd mentioned, there's a lot of times where the general crowd will just rather have a DJ, which is just playing the top hits. So it's also just a little.
It's a 50-50. I mean, people call me all the time and want to have it. Hey, we want to have a birthday party here on this certain such a date. I'm like, do y'all want a live band or y'all want a DJ? It's 50-50. Some of them hire a live band, some of them want a DJ.
But it's just, it's in that same mentality of original versus cover bands. Some people don't want to hear music that they're trying to pay attention to, which would be original music. They want to hear something they know so that they can just half pay attention to it while they're doing something else.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there is a difference between that too.
So I mean, that's the trick, is to coerce people to say, well, you can still do what you're doing while watching us too. What makes that attractive, right? So sometimes it is pageantry and sometimes it's general, it's almost like you could start handing out pamphlets with your lyrics in it and be like, hey, you may not like it, but maybe you'll like the lyrics as we sing along. It'd be kind of funny to start doing that.
Right.
People think you're just that, what's that Asian group that comes around for the dancing? They come around every year into your business and they're like, can we put this in your window? And they pretend not to know English. Nobody knows.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man. Sorry.
You're fine.
Really? I'm going to find that for you guys. I'm going to send one here so that she comes and bothers you. But they just try to advertise in your business.
I have enough problems, Adrian.
What'd you say?
I said I got enough problems.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, any regrets?
In my life?
Well, in the music thing, anything that comes to mind when I say that, since we've been talking about this stuff?
I can't. I told my wife that probably a year or two ago. I mean, I can't really say that I do. I mean, honestly, I'm grateful that I can still do it. And it's like, I mean, I just don't know how to quit. And I'm grateful that I still can. So, I mean, I'm not going to be able to do it forever. I know that, there's going to come a day for all of us, where we can't do it anymore. So, I mean,
yeah, it makes me think of Ozzy Osbourne right now as he's going through his health stuff, It's gotta suck for him because they say he's like mentally aware, but his body's just kind of giving up on him. That's tough. That's what happens when you go through that many drugs.
yeah. But I mean, I'll continue to play around here for as long as I can. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I think we're probably, I'm not gonna say the only, but we're one of the few bands that probably have stayed at it consistently for 25 plus years.
Y'all are. I think in the West Texas area, I remember when I was in high school hearing on 95X and what was the other rock station back then?
KBAT.
K-Bat. I remember hearing Chrome Molly
All the time.
playing this weekend. Chrome Molly and Pump Jack were the two names I heard all the time. And it was crazy to me because I met you through Adrian when Adrian was singing for Chrome Molly. It was wild to me when Adrian told me, yeah, I'm singing for Chrome Molly now. And I was like, you're fucking joking. Like, I was like, this.
And that's actually a good one. Why don't you go ahead and tell the crowd here the story of Adrian joining Chrome Molly?
Man.
Go for it.
I don't think I can, man.
What do you mean? Why?
Huh? God. Well, he didn't. Yeah, that's no. We better keep that one off the record.
Oh, is it bad? I don't remember the story. I know you've told it to me.
It's bold, is what it is.
Very. Yeah. But it worked out. It did work out.
It did. I know y'all had a lot of fun playing shows, and I had to drink a lot of beer during those shows.
Yeah, me
Take
too.
a lot
It
of
was forced.
What shots did we take all the time? Black tooths.
Black tooth.
Black tooths all
yeah.
the time.
That was a.
Oh my gosh!
I had one a
Black
couple
Tooth.
years ago at Riley's with you, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
one
first time I'd had one in years. It about killed me.
You know, it's funny about that. I'm glad you brought up that time. I think it was that time we were all on the patio, right?
Yeah, we
Correct.
ran into him the Sunday.
We talked about this recently on one episode of the podcast. You were playing with a different band than Chrome Molly that night. And you had an orange amp on stage.
I was playing with the Barking Spiders.
Barking Spiders.
Yeah, I played with them for about 7 or 8 months, and Johnny Williams fired me out of the band. He got mad
Ah.
at me one night.
But I remember you had an orange amp, and it was funny because we were talking to you about orange, and Adrian had said, I didn't think I'd ever see you walk away from Marshall. And it seemed like throughout that lunch we had, you convinced yourself, I'm selling this orange when I get home, and I'm buying another Marshall. Are you playing on a Marshall right now?
No, I've been playing Mesa Boogies for
Oh, Mesas now.
probably last 4 or 5. Well, for a while, last 4 or
Nice.
5 years probably.
Which one? Dual rectifier?
No, I play the Triple Crown 50.
Triple Crown.
That is what I
Oh.
speculated was Mesa.
I think you did say that. Yeah.
We talked about tone earlier. Actually, I've got I've gotten really big into open back cabinets, and I've got an orange open back cabinet.
I didn't know orange made an open back.
I do. It's like
Okay.
and I love that amplifier on top of that cabinet. It's crazy. I've got a basic open back cabinet. I play a lot live too, though. I mean, I kind of go back and forth between them. It's whatever mood I'm in really that week. But
Fair enough. That's fun though. So, yeah, I mean, what is it about the orange though? Like, because it's very different, you know.
I don't know. It's just the speakers in it probably. It's got a cream back in it, and the Mesa's got more of a higher wattage. You know.
I think, to be a little gearheady for a minute, I do think orange makes the best cabinet in the game. I really do.
I'd argue that.
You'd argue that one?
Yeah.
Who you taking?
Probably either Mesa Boogie or Diamond Amps.
Okay.
Diamond Amps probably.
But there is something about orange that's speaking to you at the moment.
They just look bulky,
They do.
but
They do.
and don't get me wrong, they're really great cabinets. I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not knocking them. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the three. you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
But I mean, in this days, it's really getting easier just to buy cabinets with what speaker configuration you want in them.
You can get almost anything you,
You can
want.
get pretty much
yeah.
whatever you want.
And you don't have to go to,
And just because
Orange or-
it says a different name on it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know, I want the sound. That's what I'm going for.
sounds what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't need it to be completely.
I mean, I think some people, and I'm not accusing you of this, obviously. I think a lot of people who do like the orange, like that orange cab, like the way it looks.
It does.
Because
yeah.
I mean, it grabs your eye.
I mean, if
It
I had,
does.
I mean, an orange rock reverb,
Oh God.
I
love that
mean,
amp.
you can't go wrong with them. They're great amplifiers. I mean, you can't go wrong with the cabinets. I mean, you can buy that combination and play anything you want to play. You really can.
What got you into like the techie side of things originally to learn the sound part?
I don't know.
Because I know you had like back in the day, you had kind of teased learning from that sound guy. Shoot, what's his name?
Well, I'm not sure, but I guess I just always used I was big on Marshalls for the longest time. I mean, there for a lot of years. I mean, that was really it's what we had, it's what we could afford. So that's what we played. I guess in my later years, I started making. I got in a better position in life and started trying different things. And so, but I really didn't start playing the Mesas until they come out with the Triple Crowns because I mean, it's more of a British style amplifier. A dual rectifier. I mean, that's for the metal guys. They're real highs. They're real high pitched. They got a lot of presence to them. I mean, it's for that fast B tune tracking. That's what trying to play an 80s song on a dual rectifier is like sticking around a square pole, a square hole. It's just not the right tone for it.
I get that. So on that Triple Crown, you feel like you're getting, you can dial in
Whatever I want. It's
whatever you
three,
want.
probably the only reason I went to the over the rock reverb is it's a 3-channel.
You got 3 channels, so 3 different tones you can
Correct.
switch between all night, and then
I can set up a clean tone, I can set up a Texas country tone, and I can set up a rock and roll tone. I'm right there at the click of a switch. So I'm not having to, it's just easier, I guess, on me. That really is my only reason probably behind it.
But surely there was like this one song that really sticks out to you that
Ooh.
made you say, I need to start concentrating on tone.
Oh, of course. I mean, that was happening to everybody. I mean,
Yeah, but what's that song?
running to Panama, Van Halen. man.
oh, that's a
Whatever.
good song.
I mean, that's where it's at.
When was the last time you played it? Played Panama?
I'm not even gonna try to play Panama.
No.
Why?
Huh?
no, why not?
No. For certain things you don't mess with, Van Halen's one of them.
Van Halen's one.
No Van
All right.
Halen ever.
I play. We played that. We play. Ain't Talking About Love, and it took me a long time to fight. I didn't want to do that one, but I do it.
Do you
I'm scared like a little kid every time I play it to this day.
have you ever so speaking of Van Halen, the story of his amp is one of my favorite stories where because he was playing what was he playing back in the day on those first two on Van Halen and Van Halen 2?
He played a
Fender, probably.
no,
but I
he
don't
just
know.
played a
fucking
Marshall
know.
Plexi.
Yeah, Marshall Plex.
It was bone stock.
But so a lot of people were talking about how they couldn't get the tone that he had. And at some point they opened up the
He put a
back.
Variac on it.
there was mods he did to it.
No mods.
No mods?
Just bone stock. He took the voltage down to around 95 or 100,
Is that what it was?
and power soaked it and made it sound. That's what created the brown sound.
Oh, okay.
So he modified the power input, is what he did.
Just put a Variac on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of running
just
110 or
crank that
120
thing.
volts,
Yeah, I
it
understand.
brought the voltage down, so it sagged
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah.
Which so later on when they made the 5150 amps, they cloned that.
So all they did was take some sort of step down.
They had a
for this
lot
to
of gain
emulate the
stages to
Variax
the
power.
5150.
Do what?
They had a lot of gain stages.
I'm sure they did, yeah.
That's fun. That's fun
Mike's-
that he used that.
I learned that from a Mike Saldano video on YouTube. That he actually, when Eddie bought the first SLO 100 from him, or one of them,
It was our table.
okay, one of them, that he was so excited. He said that that he needed to have this amp retuned. And that was that original Plexi, and his first thing he noticed, he pulled it apart, was bone stock. So he started messing with the voltage. That's how he figured out what he did. That's how he made that sound.
It was amazing. I love stories like that.
That's why I was curious, because it's easy to ask the question. Then it's you at first. You say, "Well, I don't really know."
But then again, man, you know as well as I do from playing guitar, it doesn't matter what you play through. You're always going to sound like you.
That's true, and we were talking a little bit about that too. What do you think defines your sound? Like, what in the end,
I'm real big on. I like a lot of low end. I like a lot of punch. I want a lot of mid range cut. That's my deal. It's always what I've always aspired. For. So sometimes I achieve it. Sometimes I don't. But hopefully I get there every now and then.
what's the biggest show that stands out to you where you just felt everything was on? You were playing right, your tone was perfect.
Man, it was here probably this year. We played a show in January, and we did a benefit for a dear friend of mine, and I don't think I've ever played a more perfect night than I did that night.
Can you tell me a little bit more, like what?
No.
Okay.
But it was one of the main notes.
So here at BamBam-O-Rama, we like to do something called weaseling, where we try to weasel our way into your business or get you to help us with ours.
I think I know the weasel. I think we got to put on that local music festival, right?
Well, I mean, originally we were going to ask you if we could film a TV show pilot here.
Oh, that's true.
You want to film a TV show pilot here?
Right. So
Yeah.
a long time ago, we made a doc. We started a mockumentary. We recently finished it.
Do I have to be in it? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can film it.
But it was basically because I used to play a character on stage when I played Jackson's Lost Cause shows, and I acted like a complete asshole, like I was the most important person there. And then we decided to make a movie about that character. And now we want to make a TV show off of that movie.
So the movie's out on our YouTube if you guys want to check it out. It's called Nobody Cares, the Story of Jackson's Lost Cause, which is terrible, but it's our terrible, so we love it. I'll still stand by it. But it's the first project we ever did is why I say that. It just means that it's terrible as in we're very amateur. But I still stand by the story and how it plays out.
I think if we do a TV show, whether that be a one and done season type thing, I think we can actually recreate the vision we originally had. And it would be wonderful if Pat's Place could be a part of that.
I don't think it'd be a problem at all.
And we do it on off hours, of course, so that it doesn't bother customers and they won't have
Yeah.
to be in there and stuff. But yeah.
I think I'd be just fine with it.
Nice. But yeah, we'd definitely be interested to tickle your brain about what are the options of us trying to host that festival here, where we put together a lot of the bands and try to get the local original music thing going on.
Let's work on that. I mean, next spring for sure.
Absolutely. We can start talking about that after the
But
new
this
year.
needs to
and
be
see if we can
something
do it.
outside. It needs to be out
Yeah,
there.
I agree.
We have to have good weather for it. and all
Yeah.
that.
That'd be cool.
That is
So-
one thing that's nice about today's recording is it's real nice and temperate.
Right. So you guys make sure y'all are looking out for that. Maybe the TV show coming out. We're also going to put some bands on this stage. That's going to be awesome.
So we are going to be wrapping up pretty quick here, just because, as you said, we don't want to get a lot of this bleed in. We're pretty close to our time. Is there anything you want to make sure that we plug before we forget? Like something you were thinking, man, I hope that they ask me about this. It's fine if you don't. I just want.
I guess I really didn't think about that.
No, you're fine.
It's the first
You're
time
fine.
I've ever done anything like this. So y'all
I
bear
understand.
with me.
Tell me then, what's your favorite Adrian and Chromoly stage on the Chromoly stage? What's your favorite Adrian on Chromoly stage story?
That's a lot of them. Can I go back? Can I go back to the one that was in West Odessa one night, and I think you were on top of the ladder.
The 40-footer.
Yeah. I think that's probably the one right there.
So can you paint us a little picture here?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to get able to get off the ladder, to be honest with
So
you.
how did he end up on the ladder? Was he?
It's Adrian. Who knows?
That's-
I mean, I'm playing guitar. I look up and he's stuck up on a ladder, and he's just there for a long time.
I think I was.
What song were y'all singing?
I couldn't even tell you.
I want to say that it was Thin Lizzy, Cowboy song, got me inspired to pep up, because normally that was not an ender, but like to the back half of one of the playlists, kind of. But I think on this particular night we played it at the beginning of the next set instead, just for time wise. And I believe I was like, yeah, rodeo, and then because I remember swaying back and forth, and that's why I think that's what happened. And
that was probably it.
looking down and seeing my brother so terrified that
Was he playing bass?
Yeah,
with
of course.
all
Oh
that?
yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
That's so funny.
So how did you get down from this 40-foot ladder?
I climbed down. It was actually a lot safer in the end, but no, I shouldn't have done that. I'll tell you my favorite one with James. So James is a little bit of a germaphobe, and we're playing out in a different place in West Odessa, and I had to go take a leak. Well, in the bathroom was just one of those simple quarter crank machines for condoms. And me and Fernie, our other guitarist for Chroma at the time, decided that it would be hilarious to just put this unraveled condom on his microphone. And what turned out to be a prank for us was he was not happy.
I
James
believe
was
it.
very upset with us. He didn't talk to me for a good 30 minutes. He wasn't following, James is very different on stage, because if you don't know what passive aggressive is, let me tell you what James Morgan is when he's upset with you playing guitar. He will not look at you. He does not acknowledge you. Your body language cues are completely out the window. He turns around. He looks at his phone over here. It is me in the corner city.
I pout. I do.
Yeah, he was pouting. He was
pout.
upset. He cleaned off his new mic because I think he swapped completely. He wouldn't even use that other one. He was so upset. He was like, "You better be lucky that I have this other mic," et cetera, et cetera.
I think I've calmed down over the years, though. I'm not quite as
Well, I mean,
high strung.
I don't even think that you're that high strung, but whenever people poke you,
Yeah,
it's easy to get upset, and that's what being friends is all about.
Yeah. Good times, right?
I like to think it was a good time. I definitely pissed you off enough, but but it was fun for me.
There you
So I
go.
hope it was fun for you.
So do you have anything else you want to plug about James Morgan or Pat's Place or Chrome Molly before we?
No, I mean, I
Wrap
think we
up?
covered it all.
Well, I do want to get a tease back a little bit. Can you just recap on the Chromoly thing? I know you got Brandon Cervantes in there. Who else is with you? We talked about Romy.
Romy's with us. Joel Ramos, his little brother's back playing drums with us. Tillen Dial, he came from a band called Running Blind.
Playing bass.
No, he's a guitar player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and that's the five of us.
So Brandon's playing bass for you.
Correct.
I mean, I should have known that, but
Yeah, but that's the five of us now.
very nice, very nice. And then I know you said this Halloween show is going to be your next one. Do you have anything November, January that you want to throw in there?
Well, I gotta look at my phone. I don't remember. I mean, I know we got shows, but I'm very retarded when it comes.
No worries. There's that hard R, man.
Yeah, we'll be All right.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got Diamonds on 28th. We'll be at Riley's on November 18th. We'll be here at Pat's on the 2nd of December. Then back at Riley's on the 16th.
And then in an effort to promote the whole roundabout, you said the 16th on that last one. What about here? What other bands you guys got here in the November, January that you can at least throw a tease that I'm not expecting you to give us your whole.
We have Shane Rogers coming in tonight. He's out of Lubbock. He's a good upcoming Texas country band. So
definitely look out
and
for
he's
him.
doing a lot of original music. He's doing good.
And I'm assuming he'll be back soon then if you're going to be booking him tonight. So
Yeah, he'll be here tonight. We got we actually have Cash Call for our Halloween party next Friday night. We've got Side Piece, coming in on the 4th. But I've got a pretty big Halloween show, or not Halloween, but New Year's Eve show I'm cooking up. I'm not ready to disclose yet, but
so yeah, that's fine. But do you have like a website or do you do Eventbrite or anything that people can keep up with those?
yeah, they can follow us on Facebook.
Cool. So it's just Pat's Place on Facebook.
Pat's Place Odessa or Pat's Place Lounge, something like that.
And then Chromolly's still
separate, yeah.
Still Chromolly, facebook.com/Chromolly.
I think so.
We're going to link all of this, but I just want to make sure that I'm confirming so I don't look at the wrong shit or something,
You can look on our tail. I think the old one that we all used to have is still actually out there, but we got a new one that I'm not sure what I just get to it.
That's fine. I'll come get him.
I'm very what's the word I'm looking for? Technologically challenged. Yeah. So
any questions for us?
No.
This has been a great interview. Thank you. We think you have the job.
All right.
No, James,
Thank you for joining us, James.
Absolutely,
we really
guys.
appreciate
I had a
it.
good time.
Yeah, dude, it's been great catching up. We're gonna have to be doing this more that I'm back in town.
Yeah, I was very pissed off when I found out you were living here. I didn't even know that.
Been back for 2 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could tell me that 2 months ago.
I mean, I tried to get you interviewed 2 months ago.
Well, I kept thinking you were in Austin.
Well, yeah, but so that's what happens when we assume. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm just scatterbrained as I've ever been.
Hey, it is what it is.
Make sure you check out Pat's Place and Chrome Molly on Facebook. Make sure you go to BamBam-O-Rama.com. Look for our Twitch streams and look for our YouTube.
We're going to see you guys next time. Thank you so much. We love you.
Thank y'all. Love y'all.
All right, guys.
Thanks, brother.